Multiple choice questions based on real numbers. The first question, for some integer p, every even integer is in the form of, okay, whenever we multiply any integer with 2, supposing if we take the integer 1, if we multiply with 2, so it's gonna be even. 1 is odd, so if p is 1, if we multiply with 2, it's going to be even. So whenever we multiply any integer with 2, if we take any integer, say if we take 2, 2 2s are 4, then if we take 3, if we multiply with 3, it's going to be 6. So we are always going to get even numbers. So whenever you multiply any number with 2, it's going to be even. So for some integer p, every integer will be in the form of twice p. And since twice p is always even, so twice p, if it is even, if we add 1 or subtract 1, it's always going to be odd. So if they are odd numbers, it will be either in the form of 2p plus 1 or 2p minus 1. Question number 2, the product of a non-zero rational number and an irrational number is. Now, non-zero rational numbers, it can be any number like 2, 3 or 2 by 3. These are rational numbers. And irrational numbers, let's take an example of an irrational number, say root 2. So if we take any rational number, say this one, and multiply with an irrational number, say root 2, the product is always going to be irrational, because we will still have this root number here. So just remember, the product or sum or difference or quotient of a non-zero rational number with an irrational number, it is always going to be irrational. So if you look at the next question, the sum or difference of a rational number and an irrational number. So sum means if we add or subtract, sum or difference. So if this is rational number, if we add with an irrational number, say example root 3. If you add or subtract a rational with irrational, it is always going to be irrational. In this case, 2 plus root 3 will remain as 2 plus 3, and since we have a root number, we know it is an irrational number. So sum, difference, product, it's always of a rational with an irrational, is always an irrational number.